Hello again from my front porch. I'm sitting out here. It's a little bit chilly again here in Iowa today. I'm out here in my cozy Doctor Who robe. See this nice robe? It looks like the TARDIS. Randy gave this to me. It's very comfy. I am wrapping up 3 days of convalescencing, or whatever the term is. I actually took Friday off. This is Sunday. I took Friday off because I was not feeling well at all. It came on kind of sudden too. It actually surprised me a bit. I've been told in the past, but not just by random people, but by doctors, that I have a really strong immune system. And it's probably because of that it takes a lot for me to actually get sick. I mean, I might have some symptoms, but for me to actually get taken out because of being sick, that takes a lot. And so I'm fortunate that way. It unfortunately, though, probably also means that I'm a carrier for stuff and I don't realize it. That my body may be combating stuff, but I may be carrying it and then passing it on to somebody else. And so I try to be mindful of that as well. This last few days here, it's not as bad. I mean, I've had worse. It wasn't the worst that I've had, but it was pretty nasty. It was a lot of being completely drained of all energy, being achy and sore, massive headache pains. Now, I have sinus. I have sensitive sinuses to begin with. So I am prone to getting sinus headaches and things like that. In fact, for a number of years, my doctor that I had in Ames thought that I had allergies and prescribed me prescription allergy medications because of what he presumed were allergies. When I moved to Des Moines and tried to get those prescriptions refilled, my doctor here, Dr. McCoy, not joking, that was his name. I knew I was in good hands with Dr. McCoy. He said, "So what are you allergic to?" And I said, "Well, I don't know." And he said, "Well, what did they find out when they tested you?" And I said, "Well, what's the test like?" So, well, the test is, they take these cards, all these pins, they stick it in both of your shoulders. And I said, "Oh, I would have remembered that." That was never done. So we did that down here in Des Moines, and it determined I wasn't allergic to anything. So all that time I've been taking prescription allergy medication was pointless because I didn't really have allergies. And so what we determined here, what Dr. McCoy figured out, was that it was just my really sensitive sinuses that would be triggered by things similar to what allergies would do. Changes in barometer, changes in pollen counts and things like that in the air and stuff, the things that might trigger an allergy would also flare up my sinuses and give issue like that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Suffice to say, that's the reason that what I'm still lingering with now is still just a little bit of the pain here and stuff. And so I have to deal with that. That's just the way that it is. But I'm glad that that's the only thing that I have now, because I had that before massively, like almost migraine level, and I had the achiness. I had no appetite whatsoever. The idea of food completely was not good, and my body was doing other things that were less pleasant, and we won't talk about them here. But I took Friday off. And I was able to pretty much Friday and Saturday be able to just rest. And when I say rest, I mean like sit in a chair in my living room and do nothing but watch TV and drink water. Yes, I am smart enough to know that there are times where a San Pellegrino is tasty. There are still times when a Diet Pepsi is tasty. There are times when other beverages are tasty, but at times like this, water. And lots of it. Oh, it's so good. And that has helped as well. So the rest and drink and keeping lots of fluids, keeping the water pumping, really helped a lot. So now today I am feeling much more like my normal self, whatever that means. But it is good to have my energy level back up too. Anyway, so I realized I hadn't done one of these in several days, and so I needed to do one. But I didn't want to just tell you about being recovered from being sick. That is important. But I also have had another minor setback, automobile-wise, and I am planning my recovery for that as well, because you can't keep a good pull down, or even this one. Anyway, as you know, if you've been following these shows, way back in November, I started to have major issues with my car, my Pacifica, that caused me to park it in the garage. And I started to do Ubers there was a guy, mechanic fellow, lives literally a block away from me, that repairs stuff out of a shop on his property. And he, in the past, has been a tremendous person for me to work with. Has done good work and has done it for really inexpensive prices, which is a good combination. And so this time I hit him up again to assist me. And while I was going to be out of commission with that, I had a friend loan me a vehicle that they had, an extra vehicle, which was a godsend, honestly, because it was going to cost me $25 a day just to have Uber drive me to and from work. And, that money was going to add up fast. And so I wasn't really excited about that. But then I also didn't think it was going to be all that long that I would be out of commission with my vehicle. I thought that it would either get repaired quickly or I would find out that it was really DOA and I needed to make other plans. Well, for quite a while, he kept saying he couldn't look at it yet because the shop facility here already had other projects in it, and they had to wait till those projects got done. And since this is not a regular business but a sideline kind of business, there's timetables are different. It's not like we get them in and out in a day kind of thing. It's like it could be up there on the lift for a week, while working on it in the evenings as time permits. So I understood that. Okay. And so graciously, this friend loaned me a vehicle that I could drive while this was going on, so I didn't have to keep doing the Uber thing. Much appreciated. Can't even begin to tell you how much I appreciate that, especially when things drug on and we got into December. And December continued on and continued on and continued on, and finally, right before Christmas, he came and got the vehicle, and we took it over and put it in the shop. And I was like, yes, now, maybe by at least the end of December, I will know what's going on. Well, funny story. He worked on it that night, messaged me right away, let me know that it wasn't the alternator, because the alternator seems pretty good, but it looks like it's other stuff. I'll keep looking at it. The next day, the car showed back up in my driveway. And I was like, what's going on? So I messaged him and I say, what's going on? Have you figured it out yet? And he said, oh no, I haven't finished looking at it yet. And I said, well, but it's back in my driveway. And he said, oh, well, the guy who owns the building must have not wanted it just sitting in there, or maybe thought I was done with it. And so he brought it back. I'll just come back. I'll come back and get it from you. Okay, no problem. Nothing. During the week of Christmas, I message him and he says, oh, I'm actually in Chicago celebrating the holidays with family out here. And I'm like, okay, he's entitled to have holidays, sure, whatever. So he says that we'll connect after he gets back, after the holidays, and he'll bring it back over and take care of it then. That was the last that I heard from him. That's right. I may be the only person in the world who has been ghosted by a mechanic. So anyway, my Pacifica is dead in my garage. No closer to knowing exactly what was wrong with it, but I suspect it's something electrical because it is dead in my garage. It's drained of power again, just sitting there. And so I'm pretty sure that it's something to do with the electrical aspect of it. And I'm also pretty sure that he's not going to keep looking at it, that I'm not going to hear from him again. I wish that it was an actual business entity that I had done this with so I could report this to the Better Business Bureau, but this was just a gentleman's agreement, and clearly he proved himself to not be a gentleman. This is how I live my life. I trust people until they demonstrate that they are not to be trusted. Unfortunately, I sometimes come up on the short end of the stick. when that happens. Well, anyway, I came to this realization end of this last week that it now had been a couple of weeks since I'd heard from him, and clearly I wasn't going to hear from him. So I probably needed to figure out what to do next. And at this point, I probably just needed to get a new car. Well, a used one, mostly. I'm not interested in a brand new one. But anyway, I'm probably going to need a different vehicle. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to have to do that. Well, then I get hit with being sick Friday, so I don't do anything about it. Saturday morning, I get contacted by the friend who owns the vehicle that is being loaned to me that they need the vehicle back because Friday night they were in an accident with their other car. Fortunately, they're okay, and I'm glad that they're able to get stuff taken care of. But I also understand they need their vehicle back. I don't fault them whatsoever. It's their vehicle. It's just the timing just is a little bit off because I just decided that I needed to do the car thing. Then I got sick, so I couldn't do the car thing. Now I'm feeling better, so I can do the car thing, but I won't have their vehicle. So my plan at this point, I've made an arrangement at a dealership Monday morning, and I'm probably just going to Uber over to it and do all the paperwork and hang out there. And who knows? Maybe all the pieces will come together, and I can drive off the lot with my new car, or Uber to work and figure out what I'm doing from there. I do have another friend though that has loaned me, that has agreed to loan me a vehicle of theirs if I'd like to use it, and I may take them up on that, just from the vantage point of if I do that, then I'll have I won't have to necessarily be at the mercy of the one dealership I go to. I could still visit 2 or 3 other dealerships and see what kind of deals I can get at different places. There is benefit to that line of thinking. On the other hand, I'd also like to just get it done. I am so tired of this dragging on because, again, this is what I do. I trust people until they prove themselves untrustworthy, and in this particular case, that has left me hanging high and dry, that's my own situation. But I think I have a plan to address it. So my car situation, just like my health, took a little bit of a dive here, but in both cases, I'm on the recovery. Get it taken care of. So yes, I am looking forward to now feeling better and being able to do more stuff. I'm also looking forward to getting the car situation resolved so that I don't have to mess with that anymore. I'm not looking forward to having a car payment again because I don't have one on my current Pacifica. So that'll be sad, but what are you gonna do? That's I'm feeling, it's a mixed bag, but for the most part, I'm feeling pretty good about the recovery of both. So here's to looking on the positive side and to a quick recovery where there may be stumbles or problems or illnesses or I don't know, whatever. Here's to recovering. And with that, I will see you next time from my front porch.